Good morning, everyone. I'm coming to you again from my kitchen, the place where I spend a lot of time. It's the heart of the home. I don't always spend a lot of time cooking here, although I do that too. But a lot of times I just have my books on my island and I can grab them and read. So today I have shared, in the past I've shared with you from other people's books, but today I'm going to share with you from the 30-second prayer that changes everything. I am more convinced today than any day that I've ever lived that this should be our go-to scripture for every decision we ever make, for every day we ever live. Success is written all over this scripture. And so I want to share with you from the book, and I'm just going to read a little bit to you today. Okay, the focus of this book is Proverbs 16:3. Roll your works upon the Lord. Commit and trust them wholly to Him. He will cause your thoughts to become agreeable to His will, and so shall your plans be established and succeed. He's talking about our plans. That's from the Amplified Classic Bible. Initially, the first word that came into my thoughts, initially the first word to catch my attention was succeed. Then the phrase, He will cause your thoughts to become agreeable to His will, seemed to come off the page and wrap around my heart. Could that be? What if I could do something on purpose that would cause me to think and make choices in line with God's will? I decided to be like one of those little children in chapter 1 of this book and simply believe like a child, not complicating it, but just taking it at face value. God is all-powerful, yet He gives us clear and concise direction. He wants everyone of every age to understand His principles of success. God is not hiding the truth from us. We have His word, and all the promises are there for us to enjoy. By the way, I'm on page 46 in my book, if you own that book. Having applied this truth in daily life for several years now, I realize how important it is to keep communicating with God. I just have a running dialogue with Him. He's my very best friend. I'm in partnership with Him. I can talk to Him all day. I never have to have an alone moment during my day. And I never have to wonder. I can always commit everything to Him. Okay. When making a decision, I imagine a drawing board. God is intimately aware of our days. We've learned that in Psalms 139:16. He keeps a record of all of our days, even before we were born. And He has a good plan for us. Jeremiah 29:11. We know the thoughts He has, plans He has for us. Good. He wants good for us and not to harm us. So when I have a decision to make and I don't know what to do, I imagine putting my plans on the drawing board for God's input. If the direction is not quite clear, then I move ahead slowly. If it still doesn't seem right, I wait and ask God to close the door if I am not to carry out this plan. That is right next to Proverbs 16:3, praying that prayer every day. A very powerful prayer right on the tail of that is, Father, close every door that needs to close for me. Don't let me get in trouble. Don't let me make mistakes. Close every door. Because I don't always see. I don't always see ahead, but God does. And He knows exactly what I should be doing at every moment of my day. Presently, I have a vacation questions on the drawing board. Should I go somewhere this summer or wait until winter and take an extended vacation? Where should I go? How long should I stay? A lot of things can go wrong on vacation, but with God, I've learned that a whole lot of things can go right. I love that. Slowing down and asking God questions, that doesn't come naturally for us. We have to train ourselves to do that. It comes naturally for us just to move ahead. But if we train ourselves to slow down and ask God questions, then we will find our faith strengthened by each of our successful decisions. Each time we do, we're letting go and trusting God a little bit more, living life on His terms and not our own. We make plans and God directs our steps. That's just what I want, because I know His plans are much better than mine. Here's an example. With Dave, my husband, the subject of purchasing a new car came up every few years. He just loved to buy a new car. When he thought the time was right, he would start researching, asking what features I wanted, and talking to people who owned the cars he liked. Before long, I'd hear him say, "Carol, let's go see what's on the lot. We don't have to buy a car today, but let's just go look." Now, in the past, Dave was used to making quick decisions, and thankfully, most of them were the right ones, because he just had that gifting on him. But then there was me, who wants to belabor everything. So we had to come together. And when we put the project or the purchase or the decision on the drawing board, he slowed down and I hurried up. And then we came into agreement quickly. I always was prepared when we went to the car lot that we might buy a car that day. I had to prepare myself in my mind. And I'm sure he prepared himself that we might not buy a car that day. And so that's when we could be in agreement. Through experience, we knew that God would give us His wisdom in the matter if we would ask. You might wonder, is it really necessary to consult God about these things? I'll answer that question with another example. In our younger years, we bought a beautiful car. It was a Cadillac. It was the right size, the right color, and a reputable brand. So what was the problem? Well, after purchasing the car, we found out that that particular model of the car didn't have all the bugs worked out of it. And the car dealer said, "We see a lot of that. This car is kind of a lemon." It was a model that didn't have all the bugs worked out. We ended up trading it in and got very little money for it because of that specific car's reputation. So yes, it's best to consult Him in our decisions that we made. Excuse me a minute. Alexa, stop. This is real life. Okay, we headed to the car lot to have a look. Nothing in our set of parameters was available, but my attention kept going to a car across the way. It wasn't at all what we were looking for, but as we learned more, we both agreed it was the right purchase. We talked it over, we took our time, we kind of fell in love with that car together. When we drove the car home later that day, Dave and I were grateful that God caused both of us to think His thoughts so we could make the best decision. And many times over the years after that, we said, this was the right car to buy. So I just want to share with you today that if you're not sure what to do, put it on the drawing board. Every trip I take goes on that drawing board. Every, plan I make, I say, "God, close the door if this is wrong. I'm laying it on my drawing board. Does it line up with your plan for me?" My plans are always subjected to His plan. And then we can enjoy success every day, all day. So visit me on my website, the30secondprayer.com. Put a THE in front of it, the30secondprayer.com. My blog is there. A lot of videos are there. You can contact me there. I'd love to hear from you. And if you don't have my book, The 30-Second Prayer That Changes Everything, you can buy it there's a link to Amazon on my website. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. When you go to YouTube, there's a lot of 30-second prayers. So just put in Carol with a K, Horken, Horken, and it'll go right to my YouTube channel. God bless you all. Have a wonderful and successful day. Bye-bye.